Who's wrong and who's wronger? In this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve Dash Rinko Lever.
Put the lime in the coconut. I don't know what the words are, but welcome to the Island Christmas Man. Mele Kalzulolomanga. That's an unusual disease we have here. But welcome to the Island Christmas. We've got everything. We've got rum and coconut and lime for it, and we got the Breakwell, and we apologize for that, but make up for it with the Olivas, who's here too. We've got the wrong and the wronger, and you. And you are so delighted to be here. I can't even imagine how giddy you've got to be. But James, you too, as we talked before hitting record, you are just giddy this evening.
You are relentless. I took a drink of water and he just like attacked my face. Like, are you eating a meal right now? What is your problem? Like,
I heard lips smacking. I heard you sucking grease off fingers.
I wanted to take a drink of water. That's all I wanted. I needed to be hydrated to deal with this level of unpleasantness. And you were just not letting it happen.
Well, this unpleasantness is what you tune into every week, and this is the podcast where Breakwell is his typical unpleasant self, and that spurs an argument about things nobody really cares about, but many of you, and I'm talking at least 4, upwards of 5 on a good week, do care about. And tonight, James, what are we going to argue tonight?
We are going to argue, should you send a Christmas card?
Oh, Christmas cards, yay or nay? Interesting. Well, before we get there, and James is still finishing his 7-course meal, now that he saved all that money for the house, he can afford like a staff in his
Obviously.
home. And James, we have to go through the compliments, but I'm sure your compliment, and I'm just laying this out there in case this wasn't your original plan, has something to do with the poll results from last week.
Well, would you like to say something about the poll results, please? I don't want to steal your thunder.
Oh, my, I'm getting the vapors here. Yes, I would, because finally, vindication has taken over and common sense has ruled. Olivas is the victor. How could that happen, James? Only because I'm freaking awesome.
Now, I know you don't enjoy real sports, but in the game of football, there's sometimes a situation where one team will get ahead by an absurd number of points. They'll be up, it'll be like 64-8 or 7 or something. It's just something that doesn't make any sense. And and that team that's down by 50 or 60 points with like 2 minutes left and the backup quarterback playing against the backup defense on the other team will score a garbage time touchdown. And the player on the losing team who catches that meaningless touchdown will celebrate like he just won the Super Bowl. And everybody looks at him like he's a moron. It's like, why are you celebrating? You're still losing. And that's you right now. You lost 14 weeks in a row, and then you get one poll victory, and you think you won the whole thing. It's not true. You're still down by 14 weeks, but please, do your end zone dance while we all look on and roll our eyes with disgust and pity.
James, your slurred speech, your warped logic, your metaphor that fell apart when you gave 8 as a possible NFL football score, it all speaks to what's actually... Yeah,
I know you haven't watched football since 1940, but there is something called the 2-point conversion. Are you aware of this?
And if we're down 64, we go for 2? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I think if you're down 64, you score that point. I think. Okay. What are you going to do? Take the extra point? Well, yeah, you got to go for broke. You're going to score the 2-point conversion, especially if you're the kind of person who celebrates garbage time touchdowns.
Well, and the reason you go for 2 is because you keep plugging away until the fat lady sings, and you never know, because what this could spell, James, is a shift in momentum. That now the underdog is coming back. Goliath has been hobbled just a bit. He staggered backwards 1, maybe 2 steps. His arms went up toward his head. He doesn't know what that ringing in his ears is, but whoever was with Goliath who shot that thing, he knows what it is. It's that pellet that he nailed of that paintball. I don't know what they did in biblical times, James, but the point is that that's what's happening. I am making a comeback, and soon Goliath will topple and the mighty shall fall.
Just 14 more weeks in a row and you're there. I believe in you, Steve.
Well, this is the first week of the rest of our lives, and James, you have to compliment me because that was a failed attempt if it was an attempt at all.
I would like to compliment you for having no patience whatsoever. You are a man. I guess I have to phrase that like a compliment. I would like to compliment you for being relentlessly eager for everything in life. You messaged me and you're like, can we record at 8 tonight? I was in the middle of doing dishes because I'm a good husband. I'm like, you know what? I'll finish dishes and then I'll message him. I don't want to message him right away because he has no patience. If I message him right now, he's going to jump all over me like when I get a glass of water. So I wait 10 minutes and finish dishes. And then I message him like, all right, let's record. You're like, oh, I'm driving home. We can record in an hour. Like, what? There's no wiggle room with you. It's all or nothing all the time.
And that is a good thing, is what you're saying.
Yes, that is my compliment. I do so enjoy that quality of you.
And I can tell with your passive-aggressive drinking while I'm trying to talk to you.
It was water, Steve. Let me have my water.
I can tell that we both know the truth. The pivot point for me was 8 o'clock, and I didn't say 8, I said early, and that was about 7:35, 7:40, and I got to make a decision whether I want to sit there for another hour in my office or just drive home and try to eat something quick, because my Monday is on a treadmill, and when I didn't hear from you by 8, I said, fine, I will drive home, and at promptly 8:03, you end up texting me and saying, whenever you're ready. And I knew you were going to do that to me, James. I would compliment your level of passive aggressiveness. It reaches like Ray Romano's mother level sometimes. But my compliment is that somehow, and for the non-biblical scholars watching, Job, if they don't know who Job is a Hebrew word that means Lola. Because you have pushed her patience to the breaking point with these pigs. And the fact that she still hangs out with you says you've got something on her that I don't know if she doesn't want to raise these 27 kids without James around or what. But, man, the fact that she's still in says you can do anything at this point now that your pig ate that favorite blanket. And she's going to hang out. So good on you.
Yeah, clearly I must be pretty amazing on some level for her to stick around. I did just somebody sent me a tip for keeping the pigs occupied, to get a big tote and fill it with river rocks and put food under it, and they'll root around all day. And so I got that set up. We'll see if that exhausts the pigs or if it just gives them like greater endurance to destroy things in the house. Like we might be training them to be better vandals. So we'll see how that plays out.
A bionic pig. Where do you get river rocks from?
The store, apparently. I went to Home Depot and they asked, do you have river rocks? And yes, they had like 25 varieties of river rocks. I went and picked out my choice of river rocks. So there's our unpaid promo for Home Depot. If you need a rock from a river, go to Home Depot.
I'm guessing most major hardware chains have them. That just happened to be the one that Breakwell shops in. Well, okay, so we have to get into the to the debate. Two things on that. One, I do have the Guam Quarter of Fate back because I'm back in my home. And two, people did message us last week, no thumbs down, by the way, that we didn't get into the argument till like the 10-minute mark, and by then it's too late to have an argument. To that, I say I blame Breakwell.
You know what? We could have an argument with like 10 seconds left. We could have an argument without having an episode.
As is the case on most of our phone calls. But, James, what do the two sides of the Guam Quarter of Fate represent for you?
All right. Heads, I'm going to send a Christmas card. Tails, I'm not going to send a Christmas card.
I know you well enough to know where you hope it lands. Slipped out of my hand before I even flipped it that time. All right. It is up, it is down, and it is heads. You, sir, have to talk about why you would ever send out Christmas cards. And I'm actually kind of curious to hear.
Yeah, well, you should be, because I seem to do something like this every single week. because I can't convey everything I need to people in simple tweets and Instagram posts. Sometimes you need to bunch up all that information and send it out all in a burst because people like those longer updates, like a Christmas card. So that's what I do 52 weeks a year. Every week I send out an email because a Christmas card doesn't have to be a physical letter. It can be an email too. I get lots of holiday emails from relatives. They don't want to waste the postage. They don't want to burden the postman. And they send out those fun family pictures and they'll update you to let you know they're still alive and everything they've been doing. And I do that same thing. Typically my last email of the year is kind of a yearly recap for what we've done and what we haven't done and which podcast co-host I hate the most. I mean, all those good details on there. And let me tell you, people flock to those emails by the thousands. I sell more books through that email than through anything else. Clearly, the email newsletter has a future, and that's what a Christmas card is. A Christmas card is just a primitive email newsletter. It's what people were sending out before the internet to contact all your distant relatives, back before Facebook, back before, text messaging, to let them know that, hey, you're still thinking of them. Here are the basic names of my kids in case we ever cross paths so you're not totally bewildered. And it's just a good way to stay in touch. And let me tell you something. In a lot of cases, it can take the place of a family visit. Do you really want to drive all the way across the country to get stuck in 12 hours of small talk with relatives you see once a year? Or would you rather they send it all to you in nice written form so you can get it down and read it in the comfort of your own home and not have to clean anything or, make it look like your house is fit for human habitation? You don't have to worry about guests. It's kind of like how when they schedule a meeting when it should have been an email. That's what the newsletter is. It's an email that in the worst case scenario would have been an entire family visit. And that's not what you want. Embrace the newsletter, embrace the Christmas card, and let your life be simple, Steve, and you'll enjoy the holidays so much more.
Let me see if I can sum up the entire basis of your argument. That you send out a Christmas card, but in order to do that, you have to eliminate the word card and really stretch that definition to wrap around whatever it is you're already doing. Now, James, let's face it, you're not sending out Christmas cards. That would require a little more effort on your part. You'd have to buy them, or Lola'd have to buy them, and she's too busy cleaning up after pigs, let's face it. That Christmas cards are a thing of the past, man. I just sent out a tweet that this year, and you may be the same as me, although you've got a much bigger family than I do, but I literally got more Christmas cards from people I've met on Twitter than I did from my own friends and family in real life. 0 from the Breakwell residents, by the way. So Christmas cards are a nice way of just keeping in touch with people you don't know very well. But when you do know them and their family, why bother? Because we do keep up during the year. We have texting and emailing and Facebooking and Instagramming and TikToking and Snapchatting or whatever kids your age do. So Christmas cards are antiquated and they take a ton of time, man. That if you do anything short of just sign your name, if you want to write something personal in each one of them, you are committing an entire weekend to this process. I remember my grandmother, when I was a kid, would spend hours on her Christmas cards and send out a stack of them. Nowadays, we got one from our dentist, we got one from our insurance agent, and I think my mother sent one, but I'm not even sure that happened this year. People just don't do it anymore. And you talk about those, letters that come inside the Christmas card sometime to update people. Nothing on earth is more annoying or self-centered than bragging about you and your kids to everyone who you think is going to take the time to read that thing. Now, Christmas cards, thing of the past. They're like you, James Breakwell. Time keeps marching, and it catches up with me.
Who brags in a Christmas card? You write about your family's disasters. Again, that's the whole newsletter thing. You write about what went wrong, and it's hilarious. That's why your family loves you. And I also got more Christmas cards from Twitter than I got in real life, because in that newsletter that I send out every week, it has my mailing address in the bottom. People do it. For example, you might recall that months ago, or maybe it was a year ago, one of our devoted followers said that her birthing plan was to listen to a bunch of
Yeah.
our podcasts, and her baby would be so upset that it would just shoot out of her and run away. I think that was the gist of it. Well,
Super fan Laura.
yeah,
Yes.
she sent me a Christmas card. She didn't send you one, obviously.
Au contraire.
Judy P sent me a Christmas card, of course, that was obviously better than yours. There are so many good quality people out there who send Christmas cards. How could you argue that birthing plan Laura or superfan Judy P are wasting their time by sending Christmas cards? Because admit it, every time you got one of those, you felt a little better about your life. You felt just a little
100%.
You felt a little better, you felt a little more special. And what's wrong with making people feel good about themselves? Why do you hate positive emotions?
I just don't have time for positive emotions, James. I got a schedule to keep. And I know you are a man of exquisite leisure, but that's not me. So I got to make sure that the train keeps rolling on the tracks, and therefore I just don't have time. But I will say this, Judy P, I'm sure she sent you a care package too. I didn't even open it. It went under the tree. We're opening that sucker on Christmas morning with the rest of our presents. Judy P is a member of the Olivas family now. And I'm sure, Breakwell, you tore it apart and ate whatever it was right there in the post office like an animal. But not us. We make sure to treat Judy P like royalty when she comes into our home.
We had to open it immediately because we knew it was too important. I wasn't going to make superfan Judy P wait. Also, I wasn't sure if we waited if maybe things would be destroyed by the pigs before we actually saw what they were. So I thought we better open them while the opening was good. So yes, we did open them, and I assure you everything we got was better than what you got. Because let's face it, we're appreciated more by the Christmas card crowd because I take the time to update them with newsletters. I send out holiday cheer in those long messages, which is something you will never do because nobody cares about your life, and that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead.
You rich guys got nothing but time. Us working class stiffs, we got to get out there, kill it, and drag it back to the cave.
I have 95 kids. All your kids have moved out.
Oh, God, if only that were the case. Most of my kids, probably over half, although if you look at the food bills, less than half of them have moved out. But let us get out of here so that people don't complain we're taking too much of their time.
All right. If you want to vote for me and sending Christmas cards and holiday cheer, vote for 59. If you want to vote against Christmas cards and for the Grinch, vote for 39. If you want to vote to throw your vote away for the random option, vote for 21.
21. All right. So this is that very German week where 99 is going to be the theme throughout our numbers. You want to vote for James and take a lot of time for absolutely no reward. Vote for 59. If you love Jim Carrey as the Grinch, and God knows we did here in the Olivas house, vote 39. There are worse things you can do with your life than help Olivas win. And if you want to throw away your vote, I suppose you just vote for Breakwell in the first place. But you have two options this week to throw it away, 59 and 21. Vote 39, feel good about yourself, and take the time to spend with your family and superfan Judy P's gift. Until next week, because that wraps another of our episodes. This is Steve Olive, Dr. Steve for James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell, saying thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and remember, two wrongs can't make a right.